Why did a loving mother suddenly become a cold-hearted murderer? What led to the gruesome discovery in Chad Daybell's backyard? This is the truth behind the shocking transformation of Lori Vallow Daybell. Once known as an All-American mom, now the Doomsday Mom. Let's delve into the tragic events that led to her exposure as a cult leader and murderer. Before Lori's life spiraled into chaos, she married Charles Vallow, a successful businessman. They appeared to have a happy life, raising Lori's daughter from a previous marriage, Tylee Ryan, and their adopted son, J.J. Vallow, who had autism. In 2014, they adopted J.J., the grandson of Charles's sister, Kate Woodcock. Lori was known as J.J.'s patient and loving mother, while Tylee cherished her role as a big sister. But everything changed in 2018, when Lori attended a doomsday prepper conference and met Chad Daybell, a self-proclaimed prophet and author of several books about the end of times. Chad believed he was destined to lead 144,000 souls during Christ's second coming. Lori became captivated by Chad's teachings, which included bizarre ideas like zombies and dark spirits. Her friends noticed a dramatic shift in her behavior. Melanie Gibb, a close friend, recalled Lori talking about people being possessed by dark spirits and even referring to her husband Charles as a demon. By early 2019, Charles was apprehensive about Lori's bizarre behavior and extreme beliefs. He confided to the police that Lori thought she was a god preparing for the end of days, and she had even threatened to kill him. Fearing for his and their children's safety, Charles filed for a divorce. In a police video cam from January 31st, 2019, Charles is seen telling officers, "She said I was no longer Charles. I was a dark spirit named Nick Schneider."
Out of the house to say it, we're LDS. She thinks she's a resurrected being and a god and member of the 144,000. Jesus is coming next year. She took all the money out of her bank account today. My truck is gone from the airport. She went to the airport and got it. I just flew in from Dallas. Houston and Dallas. So
where's your truck?
I don't know.
Okay. What did she say yesterday?
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Says, I'm gonna kill you too.
Then, in July 2019, things took a tragic turn. Charles went to Lori's home in Chandler, Arizona to pick up JJ for school. An argument broke out, and Lori's brother, Alex Cox, got involved. The confrontation ended fatally, with Alex claiming he shot Charles in self-defense, stating that Charles had come at him with the bat. Despite the suspicious circumstances, the case was initially closed as self-defense. Lori, Tylee, and Alex all have similar accounts. But Charles's ex-wife, Cheryl Wheeler, cast doubt on their story, saying, if someone got hit with the bat from Charles, they wouldn't be walking out to the curb with just a little boo-boo. After Charles's death, Lori moved to Rexburg, Idaho with Tylee and JJ to be closer to Chad Daybell. By September 2019, both children had mysteriously disappeared. The last known sighting of Tylee was during a trip to Yellowstone National Park on September 8th. A photo captured Tylee, JJ, and Alex together, marking the last time Tylee was seen alive. JJ was last seen on September 22nd on a neighbor's doorbell camera. Lori and Chad gave various misleading stories about the children's whereabouts, prompting a nationwide search. Amidst this chaos, Chad's wife, Tammy Daybell, died under mysterious circumstances in October 2019. Initially ruled as natural causes, her death was later investigated as a potential homicide. Chad told investigators that Tammy had gone to bed with a terrible cough and never woke up. Her children declined an autopsy, believing she had died of natural causes due to her declining health. As the search for Tylee and JJ intensified, Lori and Chad's strange beliefs came to light. Friends revealed that Lori and Chad believed the children were possessed by dark spirits and had turned into zombies. Melanie Gibb, the friend who introduced Lori to Chad, shared, "Lori told me that Tylee had become a zombie and that JJ was possessed. It was truly terrifying to hear her talk about her children that way." Despite mounting evidence, Lori and Chad remained defiant. They refused to cooperate with authorities, and Lori lied about the children's whereabouts, claiming JJ was staying with a friend in Arizona. This friend, Melanie Gibb, eventually contacted the police and revealed that JJ had never been with her. In June 2020, investigators made a horrifying discovery on Chad Daybell's property. Human remains were found buried in shallow graves. Tylee's body had been attacked and burned, while JJ was found wrapped in plastic and secured with tape. This grim finding confirmed the worst fears of those following the case. The remains were identified as Tylee and JJ. Court documents detailed the horrific nature of the findings, revealing that Tylee's remains had been charred, and JJ's body was tightly wrapped in plastic and duct tape. JJ's parents, Larry and Kay Woodcock, were crucial in pushing for the investigation. Larry Woodcock voiced their anguish, saying, "We want justice for Tylee and JJ. They were beautiful, innocent children who deserved so much better." Their relentless efforts kept the case in the public eye and pressured authorities to find answers. In May 2021, Chad and Lori were charged with first-degree murder for the deaths of Tylee and JJ, as well as Chad's first wife, Tammy Daybell. The trial revealed more disturbing details, and Lori was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. In June 2024, Chad was sentenced to death. The case exposed the extent of Lori and Chad's manipulations and their dangerous beliefs.
The layman's explanation of this verdict is that the jury has made a finding that it would be appropriate to impose the death penalty as it relates to counts 1 through 6 in the amended indictment. And so pursuant to Idaho Code 192515, the court is directed that the defendant would be sentenced to death on those counts.
Lori's trial was the culmination of years of deception, manipulation, and tragic loss. Chad's trial, held nearly a year later, confirmed his role in the deaths. One of the most chilling aspects of the case was Lori's behavior after Charles's death. She was captured on police body cam footage during the investigation, calmly explaining the events of the day without any concern for Charles's well-being. She was captured on police body cam footage during the investigation, calmly explaining the events of the day without any concern for Charles's well-being. Instead, she focused on trivial details, a cold demeanor that shocked many who had once known her as a loving mother. As the investigation continued, more disturbing details emerged about Lori and Chad's bizarre beliefs. They led a small group of followers who shared their apocalyptic views. Lori's friend April Raymond remembered how Lori began referring to people as dark spirits and believed she had a divine mission. "She told me she was a god preparing for the second coming of Christ," April recalled.
There were 144,000 people that were going to survive Armageddon. She had been appointed to gather the remaining members of the Chosen.
April says Lori tried to recruit her as one of the Chosen, but it would have come at a heavy price: her 2 boys.
Lori's brother, Alex Cox, played a significant role in these tragic events. Known for his violent behavior, Alex had attacked Lori's third husband, Joseph Ryan, in 2007. He was deeply involved in Lori and Chad's plans and was present at crucial moments, such as the day Charles was killed and the last known sighting of Tylee and JJ. Alex himself died under mysterious circumstances in December 2019, which was later ruled as natural causes. As the search for the children intensified, Lori and Chad fled to Hawaii. They were eventually arrested in February 2020. Lori faced charges of desertion and non-support of dependent children. Chad was arrested in June 2020 after the grim discovery of the children's remains on his property. The trials of Lori and Chad revealed shocking details that captivated the nation. Witnesses described how Lori's behavior had become increasingly erratic as she became obsessed with Chad's teachings. Lori's niece, Melanie Boudreau, testified that Lori claimed Charles was possessed by a dark spirit named Nick Schneider, a delusion that contributed to the events leading to Charles's death. Text messages between Lori and Chad were presented as evidence during the trial. One chilling message from Chad to Lori read, "I got rid of the raccoon today," referring to the day Tylee was last seen alive.
And it was a text message from a device attributed to Chad Daybell, and it came into that device for Tammy Daybell. And the text message read, "Well, I've had an interesting morning. I felt I should burn all of the limb debris by the fire pit before it got too soaked by the coming storms. While I did so, I spotted a big raccoon along the fence. I hurried and got my gun, and he was still walking along. I got close enough that one shot did the trick. He is now in our pet cemetery. Fun times."
Investigators believe this was code for burying Tyler's remains, highlighting the couple's callousness and deceit. The trials also exposed the financial motives behind the murders. Lori and Chad had significant life insurance policies on their deceased spouses. Charles changed his life insurance beneficiary to his sister, Kate Woodcock, just months before his death, depriving Lori of the financial gain she expected. Chad, on the other hand, received a substantial payout from Tammy's life insurance policy after her death, revealing a sinister financial motive behind the couple's actions. JJ's nanny took the stand, sharing unsettling stories about Lori's behavior after Charles' death. She remembered Lori falsely claiming that Charles had committed suicide. The nanny also spoke about how JJ, increasingly agitated and confused after his father's death, would often ask, "Where's Daddy?" and insist that his father was still alive. The most heart-wrenching testimonies came from those who knew and loved Tylee and JJ. Tylee's friends painted a picture of a vibrant, caring teenager who adored her little brother. JJ's teachers and therapists recounted his progress and love for his family. Their loss was deeply felt by everyone who knew them. In the wake of the trials, the focus remains on ensuring justice for Tylee and JJ. Their memory is honored through the ongoing efforts of their loved ones, who tirelessly seek justice and remembrance. This case has also highlighted the dangers of extreme beliefs and the crucial need for vigilance in protecting vulnerable individuals. As more details surfaced, it became evident that Lori and Chad were deeply involved in a small group focused on apocalyptic beliefs. This group included Lori's brother, Alex Cox, and her niece, Melanie Boudreau, who shared the same extreme religious views. The tragic events that unfolded were rooted in these dangerous ideologies. Lori and Chad manipulated and controlled their followers, using their supposed spiritual insights to justify their actions and maintain their influence over the group. As the trials wrapped up, the verdicts were severe. Lori was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, while Chad was sentenced to death. And these sentences reflected the gravity of their crimes and the devastating impact on the victims' families and communities. The case served as a stark reminder of the dangers of extremist beliefs and the critical importance of early intervention in preventing such tragedies. In the years since the tragic discovery of Tylee and JJ's remains, their loved ones have worked tirelessly to keep their memory alive. Memorials and tributes have been established in their honor, and there is an ongoing effort to raise awareness about the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals from harm. Their story has become a catalyst for change to prevent similar tragedies. The case of Lori Vallow Daybell is a heartbreaking reminder of how fanaticism and manipulation can spiral into unimaginable horror. It shows the urgent need for early intervention and support for those exhibiting signs of extreme behavior. By sharing Tylee and JJ's story, there is hope that other families can be spared from such pain and suffering. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like learning about Lori Vallow Daybell's harrowing case, make sure to click on the next video for more terrifying mysteries.